For my first quote, I chose, "To be effective in the workplace, you need to be able to communicate effectively and appropriately to influence others in positive and ethical ways." Okay, so I feel the author is stating this is important to communicate accordingly, such as knowing when, where, and how you should communicate appropriately. So, say you're in a more of a formal environment, you need to know how to communicate more formally rather than if you're just in an informal environment where you can just pretty much just chit chat and just say, almost what you feel. It's almost good practice, I would say, in my mind, reading this, to learn, no matter what environment you're in, to talk and speak more formally at times, more appropriately, so that way people have a little more respect for you and realize you are an ethical person and you're not going to just tell them lies and influence, try to influence wrongly, I guess. I don't know. One of those. Yeah, I think that's my opinion. You want to be positive, more of a positive person when you communicate rather than a negative. It's, being told you're a negative Nancy is never a good thing. The second quote I chose is, "Communication happens not when a message is crafted and sent, but when the message has helped create meaning for someone." This one really opened my eyes. The author, I think, is saying, you need to realize that just because you said something doesn't mean it's going to be interpreted correctly, or that the receiver is really getting all the information they need to be able to interpret it correctly. So just because you feel like, oh, I communicated this message, doesn't mean that they actually receive that message. Say there's noise involved, anything can happen between, especially say it's an email or a text, there's no nonverbal versus having, so you just have the verbal message, you don't have the emotion with it, if there was emotion with it. I feel it's really important for me, reflecting on it, that, I don't know. I had it and I just forgot. Anyhow, so to reflect on, really think about what you're saying. That's the big thing. You want to communicate a specific message. You want to make sure that you're communicating that message according to who you are sending it to, and so they understand what you mean. If you have to, call somebody, so you have that actual communication, or if you have to, if it's something that's needed, try to meet up so that way you can communicate it. There's a lot of possibilities where you're not able to and you have to communicate it through email or text, but you really need to definitely think about what you're communicating prior to your communication. So those are my two quotes. Hopefully that is good. Let's get some good responses, and good luck, everybody.